These speakers from Huawei actually are better than I expected, especially if you get two of them and use them together. Hey guys, we have the Huawei SoundJoy speakers with us today, and like I mentioned, these impressed me. Before we get into the review, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. So, let's talk design first. While the speaker itself does look rather similar to other cylindrical shaped portable speakers, there's a sort of elegance to this with a fabric covering across most of the body. On either side of the speaker, you get the two passive radiators alongside the 20-watt full-range driver and 10-watt tweeter inside. The logo, Bluetooth indicator and controls are all covered in rubber, and they're all quite large, which makes finding the correct control a breeze. There are volume up and down buttons, which are huge and unmistakable even just by touch. There's also a vertical strip at the back of the speaker which has a lanyard included, along with the power, mic mute, play pause, Bluetooth pairing, and the last button is to activate the Shake Stereo Link feature, to link another SoundJoy speaker as a stereo pair. Under all that, there's an LED indicator for low power and charging status, as well as a USB-C port for charging. On the top of the speaker, there's a LED ring which lights up upon turning on, as well as when music is playing, which is nice. It also serves as a volume indicator when you're raising or lowering the volume, with the light filling up the ring accordingly. Small visual cues, but a nice one nonetheless. There are small rubber feet on the speaker to keep it from rolling around when you're putting the speaker horizontally, and the base of the speaker is also coated in that same rubber. All in all, it looks and feels rather rugged, which is nice. One point that I would be worried about is actually the top end with the LED ring, because there's no protection here, so if you drop it on this end, it might get scuffed. Anyway, let's move on to the software. You'll want to download the Huawei AI Live app to get software updates and such. You'll be able to control auto shutdown, some basic EQ presets, and even the LED light effect from here. I will say though, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get the speakers to connect to the app. It is very finicky. I'm not entirely sure why. The speaker is running on Bluetooth 5.2 and that's fine. I can get relatively far with my phone before connection starts getting spotty. There's only SBC and AAC here though, and that's all the connectivity you're gonna get because there's no micro SD card slot or 3.5mm port here. There is a 8800 mAh battery inside, and Huawei claims 26 hours of battery life if the light is turned off. I left it on and typically got around 15-ish hours playing at a moderately low volume of around 20 to 25%. It does charge up relatively fast at 40 watts if you use a compatible charger and wire though, so that's nice. The speaker is IP67 dust and water resistance rated, so there's no issues bringing this to the pool or to the beach. So now we come to sound, and Huawei has collaborated yet again with French audio company Devialet. First off, I have to know that these speakers do get quite loud, but even when you're pushing them to higher levels, distortion doesn't really start to creep in until it gets really high, at which point you are most likely, disturbing your neighbors and damaging your hearing. So yeah, don't play music at such loud volumes. But thanks to that collaboration, the sound out of these is actually really nice. You get power in the lows, and the bass is nice and rich. The mids are detailed too, although you won't be able to get every nuance in songs. But again, these sort of portable speakers typically don't really offer the best when it comes to detail and clarity, so it's not a knock against these speakers in particular. The treble is decently clear and crisp, although I do have to note that this speaker does much better at pop and rock rather than classical and jazz. Vocals are quite nice on this though. They're clear and sufficiently weighty, holding their own against the rest of the mix. As for soundstage, this is where things start to get a little iffy. This speaker projects just fine if you are in front of it, but when you walk off to the sides, you will notice a dip in volume almost immediately. And because of this, I typically used these speakers in my bedroom instead of in my living room or in larger rooms. As a stereo pair, the problem is still somewhat present, but it's not as obvious anymore because you have two speakers that kind of widens the area in a sense, but yeah. It's a bit of a shame because when you look at the design of the speaker, it kind of seems almost as if it should output in 360 sound, but unfortunately that's not the case here. It's really only outputting in a rather limited cone in front of it. So I am not particularly sure that I would recommend these for, large parties and the likes. Unless you're putting these against the wall and facing majority of the room, then perhaps it could work. But yeah, you might want to look at another portable speaker, if you're planning on using these for parties. For picnics or in smaller rooms, these work just fine. That being said, I really do like the sound out of these. Huawei's collaboration with Diviale has produced some really impressive products, and I am definitely looking forward to more. The speaker retails at 188 Singapore dollars, and I am quite sure that you will be able to find a discount on these. At the moment of filming right now, there's actually a $20 discount, dropping it down to 168 Singapore dollars, and I'm sure that that amount will only grow as time goes by. So yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Huawei SoundJoy speaker. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to us and like this video. Till the next one, see you guys!